Hello everybody, we are the DID babies. I am Rune from the caster system.
And I'm Naomi from the dragon system.
This video we're going to be talking about endogenic systems. So endogenic systems are systems that claim to be created without trauma, either from birth or just like suddenly getting DID.
So I know that some systems, like, they're just like, oh, well, I was just born with DID and alters, you can just be born like that. And no, you can't. You cannot have a system without having trauma. It is a trauma-based thing. I don't have words.
Disorder.
Yes, that one. Or sometimes there's the rare case where systems were created with trauma, but you don't remember them because probably the trauma holders have just hidden them from you. Yeah. But those are the only cases where you wouldn't remember your childhood trauma.
Yeah, you cannot have... You cannot... We're just setting each other off here. You cannot have alters without going through repetitive childhood trauma and dissociate to an extreme, like, dissociate a lot at a young age. You need to already be prone to dissociation while you're going through that trauma for your brain to put up those amnesic walls.
Endo systems can be very manipulative and very hurtful and traumatic to the people that they are around, especially real systems, because they can just be harmful because you're faking something that someone already has, and you're causing them to think that, you know, you're safe when really you're manipulating them, and it's not good.
And we don't want to invalidate anyone who's gone through trauma and doesn't remember it. The thing is, if you meet someone who claims that they've had no trauma at all and that they were born with DID or OSDD, most of them being DID because a lot of them don't do enough research and therefore don't know what OSDD is, that can be really harmful, and they can be really toxic people because they are faking a disorder that comes from a really, really scared and hurt place, and they're just going, it's like cultural appropriation, but with disorders. And, like, to an extreme version. It's like going, oh yeah, I am actually a 100% pure-blood native. I mean, I don't have any native in my blood, but, like, I'm native.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good example. I'm not sure what else to say about endosystems.
There isn't really a lot that we can say on endosystems. Just that, like, please, if you haven't gone through trauma, if you don't have alters, please don't pretend that you do. It is so, so harmful to the people who actually have it and the people who actually suffer with it.
Yeah, especially, like, if a friend of yours has just recently come out with it and then all of a sudden you suddenly have it and you didn't even know what it was until they came out to you, and then suddenly you have it, or suddenly you just like,
fuck off, mate.
And then suddenly you have it, and suddenly you have all these alters that are just come up on the system, or you have, you know, you just like suddenly change personalities. And without even really actually knowing what it was before, and you're just like, oh, I've had it all my life, except it's never been a thing until I just learned what it was.
Yeah. Also, having a different personality between here and work and acting different when you're with friends versus when you're with your partner is not DID, and it is not OSDD, and it is not a disorder. Acting different around different people is a natural human thing, and is completely different from DID. Completely different.
It's a human response. It's to make the people around you feel comfortable. Whereas DID is literally having different people who are there.
Yeah.
And
it's like playing The Sims with multiple people controlling the same sim.
Yeah, definitely. And having DID or OSDD or different dissociative disorders is not trendy, it's not cool. Don't just suddenly have it because you see all the trends going around because of people using it or having it. It's not a trend. People are just trying to normalize it and advocate for it so that people aren't demonizing it anymore. And people aren't thinking of us as monsters. That's the only reason why there's so much of it going around on the internet right now, is because people are trying to normalize it so that it doesn't seem as scary to people.
Yeah. Whoop. Football, mate. Alright. I guess that's a wrap. That's been a video.
Alright.
We have been the DID babies. We are the caster system.
We're the dragon system.
Bye.